Who we going with? Jaden O'Neal or Bo Bentley? Think you better make a decision pretty soon. We'll talk about that with Chris Mason of Sooners 360. And of course, my Friday co-host, Marcus Dent from the Gridiron Insight, and big Mike Boganowski right now on Rise and Shine College Football. Let's get it. Hey, real quick, wanted to get to this. It's been up there for a minute, but Tristan Griffin, this is obviously Unc. This is K. Chris's Unc. I'm more worried about the kids he's already built a relationship with that may look at us differently for being disloyal to a kid that's clearly loyal to us.
Definitely.
Bad look.
Yes, yes.
Bad look. So
and Brent's a big time loyalty guy. He preaches loyalty, although we did see the first crack of that as in his press conference saying that, being a nice guy ain't enough to stay on the roster any longer. That was one of the first sort of signs Brent, that was the first sort of loyalty message from Brent. But yeah, I agree. I think it sends a terrible message. And again, we're not talking like Jaden O'Neal is some, 3-star kid that we just picked up off the. I mean,
he's
he
bad
had,
dude, man.
He had like 25 offers when he picked OU last summer. I mean,
bro, just watching. So I never watched Bo Bentley. I never seen his film before, but like just watching the two and going back and looking at it, man, that ball come out of Jaden O'Neal's hand a little different, bro.
Than anybody in this class, maybe. Yeah, he may have the best arm in his class.
That ball looks different, man, and he doesn't miss. He looks all his throws look. They're
he's
like
a sharpshooter, man. He's a sharpshooter.
Yeah. He was. I saw him hitting even those sideline routes that are the tough ones, right? The ones that you got to be on the money with.
They're hard to throw, bro. Yeah.
The tough the NFL judgment throw, right? That's the throw. If you can't make that throw, you can't be an NFL quarterback, and that's what Nagy knows, at least. So I think it'll be good. But but that's just one story of recruiting. I think it'll work itself out pretty quickly here in the next 30 days on the quarterback thing, because I think Jaden O'Neal's in Mustang now. He's probably going to be at every spring practice OU will let him come to. I mean, he's gonna be like soaking up the offense, soaking up what Mateer and Arbuckle are doing. So you pretty much, you got to tell him to stop coming if you're making a change. So
no doubt. What's up there, T Boomer? Welcome into the show, everybody. Bishop Frank, Ryman Lemon, Jimmy Satterfield, Orca's in here. Topher B, Unc, as I said, Neilio, Scott Walker, Beleon, Mars Jams, Zofix. We have Kimberly K in here as well. Appreciate everybody popping in with us this morning. Make sure that you hit that like button. And Ken Sterling, you as well. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Get over there to Sooners 360 and check out his page over there. Doing great work over there at Sooners 360. He's got a Patreon page. You want some of this inside information on some of this stuff that he knows with these recruits, you definitely got to get over there and become a subscriber to his channel as well. Don't forget to jump over there on the Gridiron Insight too with Marcus Dent, putting out some amazing content there as well, man. We appreciate both you guys, all you guys coming in here. Big dog over here. You got to go check him out on Twitter because it's just a fun read. It's just a fun read. And then he's always in here with us on Mike and Mike on Mondays as well. So, yeah, man. Appreciate everybody popping in, though. Look at there. Oh, Big Trap's in the house.
Big Trap.
Big Trap. Trap House. Oh, yeah, man. That's my guy.
Championship. Deuce Gerald's, I think Deuce is probably headed to Ole Miss. His dad played at Ole Miss. But I think they were kind of tough on him at one time. I don't know how tough they are on him right now, but I can say this just for the state of Mississippi. Um, they're starting to dig in a little bit more in the state of Mississippi, so we're seeing that a lot more.
Do
Um,
you like the running back they offered?
oh yeah, no, both of them. Both of them play for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Both of them actually. One of them, Mikael Stevens. His dad does the show with me. So yeah, man. They'll be up this weekend also. I think they're coming up Wednesday and Thursday. So they'll be up in Norman at a couple of practices this week. Also.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Gerald's between Ohio State, Old Miss legacy, and Georgia. I'm not sure they're going to be able to
Nah,
pull
I
that
don't think
off.
so. Yeah, I think
But
I
he's
think it's
also
I think it's an Ole Miss race. I think it's an Ole Miss and Ohio State race. To be honest with you.
yeah. But the one interesting thing recently, Jason, is Brandon Hall's starting to get some big time safeties. Looking at OU. I mean,
Been having those.
well, I mean, I'm talking. I liked Mike and Reggie Powers. I thought they
Mike
were top.
wasn't really big time like that though. He was just a high 3, low 4.
Well,
Um,
Michigan wanted him. You looked at his film and you knew he was underranked. I said that. I mean, he was a top 200, top 150 kid easily when you looked at your kid's film. But Caden Hall is visiting this weekend. He's a top 30 player in the country at safety from Florida, 6'3", 200 pounds. And they just got this kid to visit. His name is Salasi Moa from Utah. He's a top 40 kid in the country, 6'2", 175, plays safety, fast, and OU's got a little bit of a Utah connection going. But it's interesting. I think when you see Bowman get drafted, I think you can see Robert Spears Jennings get drafted. Peyton Bowen probably will work his things out with his injury, but I'll be shocked if Mike Bogan if Boganowski, Powers, and Hardy, those guys aren't also trending the NFL rate. You can tell Brandon Hall's starting to get a rep out there, and bigger time kids from around the country are starting to notice OU safety play.
No doubt. No doubt about it. And I think that just kind of goes hand in hand with what they did at Clemson too. I mean, look, these guys, they're recruiting at another level at this point, and I think it only probably gets better. Let's talk a little bit about that. Who else you got coming in this weekend that we should be taking a look at aside from that? But we'll get into some of this other stuff after that. But
yeah, let me give you just five. Let me give you just like five names to watch.
okay.
So the first one is Brandon Arrington from California. He is the number one athlete in the nation, top 20 player, 5-star. He's 6'2", 6'3", 180 pounds, and he's posting, like 10-4 track times. And he's probably a cornerback, could be a wide receiver, although wide receiver recruiting is stacked. Emmett Jones has that position just stacked again with guys. So I think they're looking at him at cornerback. He really liked OU last fall. Obviously, our struggles on the field, we lost a little momentum there, but he's now back on campus. Really likes Jay Valai. That could be something big to watch. And then Jordan Edmonds from Georgia, from Sprayberry area, where Trey Sermon was from, up in the Marietta area of Georgia. He's a 5-star cornerback as well. Bama probably leads, but he's been wanting to visit OU, and OU's finally got their shot. He's on campus, so we'll see if OU can get in the mix there. He's 6'2", 185 pounds, top 30 player in the country, probably the number 2 cornerback, depending upon where you view Arrington and a couple other kids. And then I mentioned Peyton Houston's going to be in town, the 5-star quarterback from Louisiana. He's OU's only 2027 quarterback offer right now. OU was firmly, I think, had a lead last fall. Obviously, with the coaching staff changes, I think this is Arbuckle's chance to meet with them and get OU right back in that mix. And then the real wild card name is a name they just offered recently. He's a 2028 kid. He's a defensive end from Jacksonville, Florida. His name is Asher Giotto, I think. He's 6'5", 240 already. He's the only other D line offer for 2028, along with summer camp superstar Marcus Fakatu, who was like 6'6", 270 as a high school freshman. And Gyoto's that way. He's a future 5-star. His film is unbelievable. So
Yeah.
that's 4 guys I just mentioned, 4 5-star players OU will have on campus at D-line, quarterback, and corner.
Wow. Hey, so I guess that would. I'm glad you brought those guys up. So how much of this do you think you're going to start seeing them getting more 5-star guys? Now, I mean, we're all on the record here is I don't give a shit how many stars they got. If they like them, go get them. But obviously, with what recruiting is, you want to see those guys that are high ranked going to your school. If you're going to win national championships, there is a blue chip ratio that hasn't really fallen. It's a fact. You got to be in that.
It's predictable, right? It's
very predictable.
Right. I think overall, when you think they're probably gonna have like 40 kids on campus, I mentioned I think they're probably going to have somewhere in the range of like 7 to 8 kids who are 5-stars, who could be 5-stars, because there'll be a lot of 2027 kids there, some 2028 kids, and it's hard to project. I mean, when you only have freshman film, it's hard to really project stuff, but some of these kids just are that good looking. But I think the bigger thing, Jason, is that when you talk about these 40 kids they're going to have on campus, I'd say about 20 of them have the potential to be top 100 kids composite by the services, and that means they've got the measurables. It's to quote our new GM, it's a trait-based league. They have the traits. They have the traits that you want at the various positions. And the most encouraging thing is there's O-line and D-line already in those groups. You've got Brian Swanson from Texas for 2027, who's a top 100 kid. Demarion, I didn't mention him, but Demarion Johnson from Tyler, Texas will be on campus. He's another top 100 kid, offensive tackle, lineman.
Yeah.
And then you've got, and then for 2026, Todd Bates has 3 big-time D-line on campus. He's going to have Damian Winfield. He's going to have Brian Davis, the new offer from Florida they made, who just dominated some camp in Florida, flying up the charts. And then they've got Tavion Branch, who they're battling Penn State for. And you take a look at Penn State's D-line evaluations, and there's not a lot to argue with what they're putting in the NFL right now. So if Penn State wants Tavion Branch, I want Tavion Branch. You just look at what they've done, and I'm not a big James Franklin fan, but you look at what they're putting out into the draft from the defensive side of the ball. There's not much to argue with. So
it makes sense.
You look at who they're. I look at the film, and it's always the high school film's always good. I'm not looking at junior high film. They just made a 2029 offer. I'm not looking at middle school film because that's not really telling me a whole bunch, other than the kid's huge and he's running all over people. But you just look at the big thing. I think though, Jason. Now we're almost sort of 7 months removed. Is how much progress OU did in their summer camps last summer. They had so many of these kids on campus, especially on the O-line. Bill got access to so many of these kids, coached them up. See how they responded to his coaching throughout the entire session. I'm sure Coach D will tell you how invaluable that is from a scouting recruiting standpoint for Bill to get his hands on kids and actually coach them all afternoon and see if did this guy pick up anything I told him in this session? And the guys that do, you recruit, and the guys that don't, maybe you don't. But I think, I think there's nothing wrong with that. From my perspective, having followed high school recruiting since, the Tommy Harris, Jason White days back in the day, during the John Blake era when things were really dark, in terms of recruiting. I look at the film, and OU's just always offering good kids, good film. There's the very few guys I just watch the film and go, why did we make that offer? The kids look good on the hoof. The O-line are always physical. They're always, you can tell what Bill wants when you watch the high school kids he offers.